Today's adventure has taken a turn for a little bit of, I don't even know what to call this. I want to just say stupidity. I feel like every wife out there would appreciate that honesty. Daniel, what are we doing? Instead of going to the grocery store, prepping things around the house, because we just got here?
If this wasn't a daily vlog, we wouldn't even be covering this. But because this is a daily vlog and we're putting everything out there, I feel like I can't really cover this up. About a month ago, I was trying to set up the killer hammock outside, and I went to sit in it and flipped over and smashed my foot on the pole.
Which I got on video, so pause. Let's re-watch that.
Yeah.
Oh God, are you okay?
Oh man, that one. Yeah, that was good. Oh my God. And that is how you assemble a hammock. Oh. So I smashed my foot in the pole, and it literally damaged the side of my shoe. I hit it so hard. I was limping around for a couple days.
And somebody at that point in time said, honey, you really hit your foot kind of hard. If you think you might have broken it, we should probably go get an X-ray while we're in the States.
Yeah, but we were busy, and I figured, it's fine. What are they going to do anyways? So I brushed it off. And kept brushing it off and kept brushing it off.
It's been like 4 weeks.
It's been like 4 weeks, and my foot still hurts.
And you're supposed to run multiple marathons.
And I'm supposed to ramp up the running starting this week. And it's going to be pretty intense running. And now I'm not exactly sure if I did break it, if it healed correctly. I just want to make sure at this point. That's my reasoning, I think. So what I did was I found and this could happen to you when you're out of the country too. If you get injured or if you're sick. What I did was I went on Google, I found...
Hold on, pause. Let's start walking and you can talk
because
it's also lunchtime and I'm hungry.
Okay, that sounds good.
But seriously, wives, can I get an amen on how dumb this is? Like, come on. This was an easy fix in the States. Hubbies.
Okay, they sent me the address for the clinic and just typed it in Google. It's about a 30-minute walk, so looking at 2.3 kilometers. Looks like it's up the main corridor at La Rambla. Terrible, my Spanish. La Rambla. Okay.
Can we please have a moment for the fact that there's a 30-minute walk to get an X-ray for a broken foot?
I feel like this is the walk of shame. Give me those judgy eyes. Now here's the deal. It's not as hard to get physician services when you're out of the country as you may believe. What I did in this case is I Googled doctor, and English-speaking doctor came up. There's actually a website dedicated to it here. So then I reached out to them on WhatsApp, which seems to be your primary method of communication for a lot of countries, and just started a general chat. Now, in terms of pricing, it was approximately €90 to have an in-person visit with a physician. If you wanted to do a virtual visit, it was €60. So that's that's the pricing that I found. I'm sure if I shopped around, I may be able to find something a little bit better, but it was pretty turnkey and the communication was excellent. And since I had something very specific I needed, I basically just reached out and said, how much is an X-ray? And they helped throughout the entire process. It made it so seamless. So basically, I let them know I needed a right foot X-ray. In Europe, we have something called the GDPR, which is like a data protection sort of policy in place, so you'll have to communicate by email for anything vital. They're probably going to need a copy of your passport, and then you'll make a payment through a secure portal. And then from there, they just sent my script over to the clinic, and no, they didn't send the script. They sent the script to me by email, which is in my phone. So hopefully they'll take I'm not sure how that's going to work when we get there. I guess we'll find out.
You may also notice that there are a ton of people out here. That's because we just found out that Carnival is this week. So stay tuned for the daily vlogs because we're going to get to see that soon, which will be wicked. Do you think this is a silly adventure too? Yeah. It's getting close to noon and I feel like I'm starting to actually acclimate to, is it past noon?
It is 1:30.
Okay, well I'm not really acclimating, but I'm definitely starting to get hungry kind of around lunchtime. So we're gonna stop at this little spot and grab a snack before we go tonight.
Yes, because we don't want hangry. Nobody wants Lauren in hangry mode. I won't even be able to record. The Hulk comes out. I'm just kidding. There we go. What's yes?
In Spanish.
Oh, ¿cómo se dice takeaway? All right, we've got our empanadas on board. Gonna snack along the way. And another really interesting thing here is that there are so many scooters and motorcycles, like tons, and the streets are lined with them. But honestly, honestly, yeah, you really do. That's the thing, right? So when you're crossing roads, you don't just have to look out for the cars. You've got to look out for mopeds, people on bikes, people on scooters. You have to be definitely aware, 360 periphery at all times.
That's true at every big city.
It is like that in every big city, 100%. Yep. Oh,
Dash wants an empanada.
Oh, you want the empanada, dude? Oh.
Yeah, perfect snack.
Let's get a close-up of that inside. Here, hold on. Ooh, that looks good. Dash agrees. He's all about it. Okay, we made it to the Diagnosis Medica.
Look at your face.
Oh, Diagnosis Medica. I was trying to read the sign while I was filming. Okay, we're here. All checked in. Okay, good news. X-ray is done, and I have a degree in radiology, so technically I can read the X-rays myself to some extent. The bad news is that they gave me the images on a CD drive, and not CD drive, but CD, and I haven't had a CD drive in almost 10 years. So yeah.
Your healthcare system is just as up to date as ours is going to be?
Exactly. But in reality, I'm just going to have to wait a day or two to get the results. They'll go to a radiologist. Radiologist will transcribe it, send it to the doctor. Doctor will then email the results to me. Also had to buy a mask. They don't give away masks there, so we had to purchase these. They were 50 cents, or
Half
a piece. Half a euro each, exactly. So how do you say 50 cents? It's, whatever it is, 2 for $1, 2 for €1. Yeah, but they had to run a card for €1.
But overall, it was a really efficient experience.
It was, yeah. Brings up a really good point though. We need to draw some cash out of the ATM, and that way we have it for things that pop up, like purchasing a mask.
I'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Okay, now walking back.
Yeah, because what we forgot is diaper bag. And
I don't feel like I get blamed for that. That's not really a week.
that's true.
So behind me is one of like architectural styles that's specific to this area. Gaudi is the name of the artist, and we'll get to see a whole lot more of his stuff later on in this series, but it's really beautiful and super ornate. Let's cross the street so you can get a better look at it. It's a true story of everybody who needs coffee, which we're in a coffee shop. This poor little dude will not give it up and just go to sleep. Look at his little eyes, he's so sleepy.
Yummy. Hello, beautiful.
Since we still haven't had time to go to the grocery store, and they have really beautiful meals to go, we're gonna grab a couple of those. Come on, dude, fall asleep.
Yeah.
Honey.
Look at that. All right, with coffee and some food for later to go, we are ready to finally head back to the apartment, or the flats. That's right.
Apartamento.
That's right.
So normally when we go on walks and he's actually sleepy, he passes out like this super fast. So he fought a really good fight for this one. So we're walking back to the house because it is almost 3 o'clock here, which means it's 9 o'clock back home. And that means that my meetings for work are starting in just a couple of minutes. So one thing I think it makes sense to talk about in this particular video, since we just got an Xray, is insurance, because we get to ask that question all the time. How do we handle insurance living a nomadic lifestyle?
That's a good point. In this instance, what I'm going to do is I called the insurance company in advance to make sure I had some global coverage, and I do. A lot of plans cover you global, you just don't realize it. So what basically I'm going to do is I took a receipt down that included a line item list of things that I was, getting an X-ray for, basically just an X-ray foot, and then I'm going to submit that claim to my insurance company, and then they said that they would pay it out within 30 to 45 days as soon as I submitted it.
And that's a good point. So we do have insurance through our job, which is awesome. Our company, well, literally our company provides insurance for our team, and so that's the insurance that we're using. So it is our American insurance that will cover today's thing. We just have to pay for it out of pocket now. That being said, we did read online, thankfully we've never had to experience this at this point, but we read online with our insurance plan that if we were going to have to go into a hospital, then we could find out a hospital that takes our insurance specifically, and then there wouldn't be out of pocket expenses for that. So because that's kind of a weird thing, you hope it never happens, or is there like a problem?
Yeah.
For real.
Now, here's something to note as well. We've been to countries before we had an insurance for our company and just paid out of pocket cash. The cash rates are not that bad, honestly. It's not like back in the US. You can get some pretty decent cash rates for like X-rays and procedures and doctor's office visits and things like that that don't really cost a lot.
Yeah, so you just call ahead and ask.
That's exactly right. Our plan is to not use the elevator the entire time unless we have a stroller. So we're basically just walking up and down five flights of stairs every day, all day. And first day or so, we were winded when we got to the top. Not as bad today. I imagine like over the next few weeks it'll be a little bit easier, but whew, if you're not used to climbing stairs every day, all day, whew, it's a doozy. How's that feel? Those stairs.
Is it 20-pound weight? I'm out of breath.
He's doing his echo thing.
All right, so we don't get to find out if Daniel's foot's actually broken today, but if you're as curious as we are and you aren't subscribed, it's a really good reason to do it because we'll probably find out the next day or so, which means it'll drop in one of the coming vlogs. I think I'm voting it's broken. Daniel, what's your vote?
Definitely not broken because that would slow me down running wise, and that ain't a thing. Maybe like a bone contusion, which is like a bone bruise, like when you smash something really hard. But you wouldn't be able to see that on an X-ray. You need like an MRI to see something like that. So yeah, no fracture, life goes on. That's my vote.
I don't think there's any way that's the thing, but we'll see. Anyway, time to get to work for me. Daniel and Baby Dash are gonna play and hang out. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a wrap for today. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. But if you haven't already this week, make sure to Wanderlocal. As you know, it's good for the soul. That's a pretty good smile even though you're sleepy, dude.